Oh, I'm just walking triple-double and Swiss Army knife.
Hey, is that Maggie?
Walking triple-double of what? Turnovers, boards and assists?
Yeah, but I get 10 turnovers, but 30 rebounds, 30
No.
Honestly, I've seen the game where you got 13 turnovers. That was against Brunel. Like, you had 6 turnovers in the space of a quarter.
What you don't remember, I had 10 assists and like 12 rebounds. That counteracts it.
That's double-double.
You lot are forgetting one stat, man. He averaged about 15 lifts every game. 15 sevens.
So I remember one play Martin wanted to call once had a couple of S's in. And he was like, "So on an inbound play, I want you to call it." And I was like, "I'm not calling that, Martin. Like, no way, I'm standing there calling that." All right, let's get started. I can't. I just see Shem in the middle, just looking at me. So if I feel like I'm about to take a free throw.
No, man. No,
don't panic because you know you're going to miss anyway.
I don't want to talk about that.
I just got head down, don't look at Shem, I'll be all right.
Shem, Greg, and Tommy, when it came to the free throw line, it was comedy gold, man. You lot used to look at each other like, "Yep, I'm going to miss this one."
I've never not wanted to be fouled. I like, if they fouled me, I'm like, I wasn't fouled. What are you talking about?
Yeah, ref, don't call it. Ref, don't call it.
I used to watch Shem.
Sideline.
I used to watch Shem.
Yeah.
I used to watch
I
Shem. Shem would get fouled. I used to watch Shem. Yeah, Shem would get fouled. And he put his head down. And like, why?
This is hoping it makes the bucket.
Head down.
All right, then.
Be shooting a free throw like, please.
This is a bonus and one episode of The Classroom, University of Brighton edition episode. Just a recap with some old mates, some old players. And what we're going to do today, we're going to pass over to Corey from Disruptive. He's going to sort of do the intro and sort of get the conversation flowing, which I'm sure we don't need much prompting anyway. So, Corey, how you doing? And then over to you, mate.
Yeah, not bad. Spoke about kicks of the week on Wednesday. Again, took a huge L this morning with the Jordan 1 University Blues that didn't come out. But moving on from the L's, going to the positives for the weekend, set up right. Obviously, it's All-Star weekend, so we had to bring the All-Star team back together. Most of this team you see here is the Panthers team that have won the last few seasons, obviously with some of my coaching involved, as you know. So I just want you boys to do a little introduction.
Your man management style.
Yeah, perfect. Unmatchable. So I want you to say your name or your nickname, whatever you were called at uni, your shirt number, the position you played, and your favourite memory surrounding University of Brighton basketball, whether it be in a game, whether it be in training or something relevant to basketball and us as a group. So JP, will start you off because you basically didn't play. So
jugular, why don't you? So, obviously people know me, JP. I tried to cop the number 3 jersey when it was available, but that was barely never. Probably averaged about a minute a game over like one season. But as you all know on the call, I'm the best set screener in the team, and I'm probably the best facilitator, I'd say, on the team in that one season that I played like 50 seconds each game. Probably best moment probably would have to be just training in general, I guess. You know, the chemistry we all had in training, I found it jokes in the first year. Uni work got in the way for me second and third year. So unfortunately I wasn't a part of the clan then. But during training the chemistry was flowing and it was a good few laughs every session.
perfect. So Greg, will move down to you.
Yeah, so I'm Greg. Yeah, hi. I don't think I had a nickname when we were at uni, when we played, but yeah, I was number 13. Somehow I managed to keep that for the whole 4 years. Although one time we had a team photo and someone stole my jersey. But yeah, that was good.
And what was your favourite memory from uni, would you say? So your position and favourite memory.
I would say my position was guard/centre.
you actually were. You either brought the ball up, you played at the 2 guard, or you played low post.
I would pass, but also out rebound 7-footers. So yeah, favorite memory. One of my favorite memories was when we did. I think was it Corey versus Tom's team, and you did like a draft and picked who was on it.
Yeah, you did,
yeah. That, and we turned up with like Primark cut like half vests.
What was the name?
Yeah.
Was it like
Team Plug
We-
versus
we were
Uncle
team-
T.
Yeah,
The
Team the
Plug.
Plug. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good memory.
There's actually a great picture of that day where I've got like a double XL white vest on. I've got a pair of basketball shorts that
And
were
it
like
was still
down
really
to my
tight.
shins. Long. I literally looked fresh out of 1990. Like I was ready to ball. Didn't even play myself. Shem, we'll move on to you.
What's up, guys? My name's Shem. I don't really know what position I played. I just played basketball, if I'm honest. I played the big man, like center, power forward sort of player, but I just got rebounds. And
Big
So
old
many
arms.
points.
Yeah.
So many
So many
points.
points.
just if you pass in the ball, I just try and finish it. That's my goal.
All right hand layups.
Oh yeah, I didn't really fuck with the left side.
I think your play sort of adapted a little bit though.
It did.
In terms of in your first season, nobody knew what you were bringing, so no one knew how to guard you. Then come second season, everyone knew who you were, and I think the greatest compliment you could probably have for basketball was being double teamed.
It was,
and-
I hated it. I
And
fucking
you got
hated
double
it.
teamed so hard, so you had to facilitate a little bit. You had to move your role, and you adapted really well to it, and still came out as the player you were. But yeah, going on to your favourite memory from university basketball.
My favorite memory, even though I didn't enjoy the game, I enjoyed what came out. I enjoyed when we played St. Mary's and we blew them up by 40 points. Because that game, I was really ill. I couldn't even go training the day before. I just forced myself to come in. And it was like one of the best games I ever played, but I felt like shit. Like I felt like I was playing awful.
Flu game.
Yeah, pulling a Michael
Eventually,
Jordan there, innit?
Huh?
Pulling a Michael Jordan there.
It was awful. Like we blew them up by 40. It was just a funny game because I felt like we didn't try it. But I mean, look, we never tried. We could be way better than we actually are, but we just a bit too arrogant,
That's understandable. And obviously, you said you didn't say a nickname for yourself. You are the walking fine.
That's not a nickname. That's not a thing.
That was literally you down to a T.
Mr. Recycle.
So,
Yeah.
as,
I'll take that.
Wayne, moving on to you, as Tom would like to say, baby Marshawn, but
Hi, my name's Wayne, aka No Knees, aka he looks like a girl, aka whatever you want to call me. I played number 9 point guard. Played number 9 point guard, and my favorite memory was against St. Mary's when we blew them out by 40. It was one of the first plays in the game, and I think we got turnovers, and I ran back. I was going to do a chase down block on their point guard, and I went to contest the ball, but I jumped so high, I ended up blocking it out of bounds, and I couldn't move because my knee was in so much pain. I couldn't actually move from the position I was in. I looked at coach. Coach was like, "Wayne, you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." I looked over to Shem. I was like, "Shem, I can't move." And then the inbound came. The inbound came, and I was still in the same position because I couldn't move my leg. But yeah, that's my favorite memory.
So Millsy, we'll drop it on down to you.
Yeah, of course. Nickname was, of course, Millsy. Stuck from probably the first game we played, thanks to Corey. Just apparently my name was spelt wrong, so it stuck.
Shit name, otherwise.
Have we changed your name? It's yours.
I know.
He's even got Mills on his thing. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's now stuck for
his
life.
name is actually Mill, like
Mill.
as in windmill. Like,
Yeah.
but we just added the rest.
It
we
just
take an
stayed
L
there.
off it as
Original
well.
us.
Add a bit of seasoning to it.
Yeah,
Gave a bit of
Yeah.
jazz.
just
Yeah.
changed it all around, everything. But yeah, well, number was 12. Kept that for 4 years. Position was definitely sitting on the bench most games.
You and JP holding hands together, keeping each other warm.
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, favourite memories definitely got to be the away game to Westminster, I think.
Yeah.
Right
That,
there.
that was a good one for you.
Mm.
21st birthday and that away game all on the same day.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
was a
good.
good
That
one.
whole
was a good
day
game.
was just
Was that Baby
absolute
Mills? Whole
bliss.
day was Baby Mills Day.
You
as well,
Greg
yeah.
and Paulie called out
Oh.
that day.
Was that the day when you hit the 7 threes? Or
No,
was
that
that
was
at
at
home?
home.
No, that was a
Four-
different game.
Four threes.
It was 7. Like,
Let's
back
just say it was 16.
74-3.
I back it was 7.
Wilt Chamberlain, 100 points.
I was there.
JJ, moving on to you, and then I'll obviously head on to me and Tom.
Yeah, JJ. I was the captain in the last year, led us to an undefeated season. Just thought I'd slip that in.
Nice.
Underneath me, that was just
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
that one out there.
Yeah.
By the way.
Hoorah.
my position, I don't really. We didn't really run positions. It was just get the ball and run with it. But I'd say towards second year, when Wayne left, I sort of took on like sort of point duties, but just giving Shem the ball and letting him score. Favorite memory was probably just like all the away days that we had, just all into one big mesh. Because those are the days like you spend the whole day with your brothers, just like on the coach, having fun, balling out, doing what we love, and then coming home and having one too many beers.
And all holding hands and singing Boys to Men in.
Boys to Men. It's so mad that was our theme song. We
It's
forced
kind of crazy how it came about. And to be fair, JJ, in your time, I would say, in my eyes, you're probably the most underrated player I saw at uni. I'll give you that.
Cheers.
Like, arguably, like your 3-point game was strong. Even when your days were off and you weren't shooting well, you still managed to pick out a game and play well. And you're not reliable, to be honest. Like, never, if I ever needed something doing on the court, I could look at you and know it's going to be done.
Yeah, that's the thing with basketball though. Like you just got to find the thing that you're good at and do that well to the best of your ability. Because you ain't got to just force stuff that you're not good at. You know what I mean? Just find your thing, which is defense, scoring, and freeze, and then just do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like mine didn't really give you a chance. Because you was way better than what he thought you was, and he just kept making you do things you like was better, like not.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like just in first year, like I didn't really get too much time. Obviously, being fresh and that, but like in second year, and you just got to keep trying to show what you can do and just not give up. And then
you've got to be up there, one of the best two-way players. Like defensively, you were so strong, and offensively, you could pull up and shoot. You could drive. You could actually hit free throws, unlike most of the team.
You speak for yourself.
I make free throws. That's how I learned to shoot.
I made mine too.
So moving on, Tom, I'll go with you last. Obviously, you're hosting all this. I think we all know that I didn't play. Couldn't have my chance to put myself on.
Really? Never.
A couple of games. No, I decided not to. So obviously I didn't have a number. I didn't play my minutes. I did I claim a coaching role towards you guys, but all I really said was hit them. It's all it ever was for you guys was the hype. I feel like you didn't believe in yourself all the time, and I felt like that was my role. To at the time, not knowing necessarily what I was talking about, wasn't as experienced in basketball as I am now. But I think my idea was just man management of getting you guys going. I think I knew how to get you guys working, but I also, I think, probably intimidated you guys a little bit.
Besides one game, there's one game I remember so clearly where you tried to hype people up, but you end up insulting Shem enough that he didn't want to play. Varsity.
That doesn't count. That was before my coaching days, and I was also extremely drunk by 11 a.m. So that day doesn't count.
Didn't give me my
I apologise.
Bear in mind, our actual coach was right next to Shem and right next to Corey as well.
You was okay with it, like.
It's character building. You're the man you are today because of me. So my favourite, my favourite. I've got a couple of moments. I think Tom, when it was your last game, that was a huge moment when we said goodbye and signed the jersey and everything like that. That was a big memory for me. And I think probably has to be winning the league because it was a tight game, wasn't it? The last game, the first time we won it, the last game was a tight game, and I think we won by 4.
You won the first time we won it?
The first time we won the league, yeah. I think.
Div 3? That was Tom's last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The one that came through, yeah.
The last game, I think we won by 3 or 4. And I just remember the absolute elation. I think I just legged it across the court and just jumped on everyone. And everyone on the bench was looking at, like, on the fan side was looking at me like, who is this guy? But I feel like, despite never playing a game, I feel so a part of it.
I'm jumping there, Corey.
Really good memories.
I'm jumping now because me and Corey are from the same area back home. All through my first year and then throughout uni, where Corey would post pictures of basketball, and then we do Freshers Day, Freshers Fair, and we got the jerseys on. And wherever I went, so I'd go get my hair cut, and they'd be like, "Corey play basketball now as well." Like, does Corey play? And then I found out Corey was telling people that he was part of the team.
Can I say something? When I first came to uni, so I didn't know any of you guys. This was my first morning.
I was hoping this was your memory, by the way.
Yeah, this is my memory because I forgot to say it. So I'm walking around campus and I must have thought I was American because I was walking around in like a LeBron USA jersey. I had a ball in my hand, and I was walking to the SU to get my like freshers wristband. I didn't know about the basketball team, so I wasn't even going to join it until I bumped into Corey and Gavin, and they saw me, and they were just like, "All right, black guy's got basketball, he can probably play."
He's tall,
I saw
he's big.
Corey wearing what jersey was he? He was wearing a basketball jersey. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was an absolute baller. I thought he was sick because he was like, "Yeah, come join the basketball team." Like,
I was ready for trials. You were walking on with a ball, and we had trials. I think I threw you the ball.
The next day, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, we've got trials tomorrow," or because there was something going on that day. So I was wearing my Vince Carter Raptors jersey, and I had my shoes around my neck.
Yeah,
and a ball in my hand.
Yeah, that's the baller look, though, isn't it?
And that was it. And from that moment, you were like, "Oh, this kid's a baller." And it was just, I wasn't.
I joined the team, and the trials was absolute piss. The only competition was literally Wayne and Greg. Well, maybe Greg at that stage. For some reason, Greg was playing like the best player in the world in trials, but
I can't lie. Yeah.
Can I say something? Yeah. I had the worst trials ever. I almost quit basketball during trials because Greg lit me up so bad. I wanted to quit basketball. He made everything like
that was the first and last.
Everything on me. I was upset. I was upset, and
that was the first and last time I was shooting.
I'm not playing ever again.
I thought he was a shooter. I see the trials like
I'm a shooter. I just prefer to pass. Passing's just way more fun.
So yeah, Tom, moving on to you. Obviously, this is you're the guy that's put all this together. We're doing it, so we'll run through your moments. I'm pretty sure you've got so many memories as well to go through. But we'll run through yours, your position, how many minutes were you? Obviously, played quite a lot.
So, Greg.
Number 7.
Cheers, Greg. I didn't wear this until my second year, but my first year I wore 8, 15, 13, 10, 9, load of different numbers because I was plugged in. I was plugged in. They took that really serious my first year, number wise. And then from that point on, I demanded 7 to be there's only 2 extra larges in this kit, 7 and 15. And I demanded 7 to be one so I could have it. So no small kid was going to take it. Position wise, everywhere, wherever needed, I was plugged into what situation was needed. I'd like to say, and I think the best university big duo was when I was in the middle with Shem. Defensively, we were just on another level. Right?
Communication was just key.
Yeah. And then on that, I told the boys the other week about the game we lost that year. We won the title. The first year we won it, and we went down to the away game in London in the dressing gowns, the slippers.
Oh,
that game where we turned up we turned up ready to party. Just this is what we're doing. We all had neck pillows. And then that big Porzingis guy. I'm sorry.
That one game.
We was too overconfident, man.
We were, but Shem, do you remember that Porzingis guy? So I was coaching the first bit, and then he was killing everyone. It didn't matter who we put on him; he was going to score. And then I subbed myself in, and you were like, I was like, I've got him, and you were like, thank you, Tom, thank you. to get away from him. He was like, looked like a little lost puppy. So that one.
He was cooking me all game.
that one's on one of my memories there. One of my first memories, especially with Wayne, Shem, and Greg, because you guys came in when. So my first year, the team we had were quality. I think should have won the league we had, and then that drove on to me disliking Brunel more than anyone.
Same.
And then the second year was literally just Xander, and then it was like Xander and the Jackson 5 basically. And then my third year, you guys turned up, and I was away for the first half of the year, but I came down for I think like Toga night or one of the first nights out on the Saturday.
Great night.
Greg and Shem.
Great night.
Corey took me over to meet Shem and Greg, and the first thing he said to me was, "By November, I'm going to be captain." you're not captain, I'm going to be captain. And that was it. He walked away from me. First time I met CM was him telling me he was going to say captain by November.
I'm say hello. You're not captain anymore, I am.
I'm the captain
You guys
now.
need to understand, in my first Corey would literally get at me 24/7. So when I got drunk, I was instantly like just ready to fight anyone because I was just on edge all the time. I wasn't like that for no reason.
And then the other memory of Wayne was that first training session where we did that training camp over that weekend, and Wayne Martin was teaching us flex, or like showing flex. And Martin was like, Tom, you play point, you run through with a point guard. And I was like, that's cool. And I went to him, you got to go in. He was like, I know it. And like every time I know what I'm doing. I was like, mate, we've got some really.
I have a problem with authority, guys. I'm sorry.
I was like, we've got some really
Wayne.
rude freshers. I was like, these freshers have got some front. I was like, all right, fair play. And then moving on to Millsy and JJ. When you guys, Millsy, I first met you in TJ's. You muted yourself, but that's cool.
no, he's paused his video.
He don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I met Millsy and TJ where I was drunk with Corey. Yeah. And Tom Dunstan came over to me and was like, this is the best player you'll see. He's coming in next year, he's going to shoot the lights out of everything. And unfortunately, Millsy, because of who it was, I remember again going to Corey and I was like, he might be all right. I was like, he looks about 34. I don't know where he's coming from.
Yeah, God knows.
And then JJ, my favourite memory of you was the first time. So that first game you played, that half-court shot you made right at half-time. And then the best thing about it was we put you in because we just needed something. And again, that game, I turned to Wayne, he was on the bench with me. And I went, like, we need some defense out there. What's you doing? He went, I'll put JJ in. And you got like 4 steals in 2 minutes, but also 4 fouls. So you've hustled to get the ball. It's going out, and you've underarm like chucked it, ain't you? It's not an actual shot.
That was the buzz was going. I knew it was like there was like 2 seconds left, and they rolled the ball to like try and get it up. And the geezer, I don't know what he was doing. He just like watched it, and I thought he's not going to pick it up there. Why is he not picking it up? So I run and picked it up, and everyone was like, I picked it up and shot, but no one else knew. It was like 2 seconds. Everyone was like, what's this guy doing? Well, he just shot from half court. And then the buzzer went off and it went in. And I didn't really know like all you guys that much. So like there's like both the Sadiqs, Shem, like Wayne, and I'm just in the middle, and just some bully circles going on. They're all like picking me up, chucking me in the middle of the court. And especially at Brunel as well. And there's like a whole side of fans. They've all got like flags and stuff like banging everywhere. And this whole place just going mental. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and then I remember having to calm you down to be like, I can't play. You got 4 fouls. You've got to sit down. Like you can't come back on because you've got 4 fouls. Like break 2 minutes, hustle 2 minutes. That's what you did. Yeah. That's it there. But really, my favorite memory was the my final game and starting that, and then with a shirt with you guys and all that, and then going from there. But I think really what I loved about uni basketball was I felt more than most teams. I wonder what you guys think of this. That when I speak to mates who went to other unis and other sports teams, we ran like a professional team type. We were so close that everything we did every day was together. Training felt professional.
If you look at American stereotypical college teams where the team play together, they train together, they drink together, they do everything. They're always in the same house together. That was kind of the culture we had. And to be honest, I think that's partially with good coaching from Martin. You can't take it away from him. He's a fantastic coach and he's a great person as well. Can't take it away from him, but I feel like us as a unit, I say us like I was involved, but like we all played our part. So we all had we had certain people that would thrive in certain areas. For example, myself at social, and that was my era, whereas Tom.
So drinking.
Yeah, basically that was I held all the fun bits. That's responsible to me.
But the thing is, it started with mine, because remember the first training set, one of the first in trials, he invited me, Shem, and Greg over to his house and stuff.
I remember we left over chili, didn't we?
Yeah.
Watched last night's basketball games.
Yeah, so he involved us, and he made sure he put that narrative in our head that this is brotherhood right now. Like this is we're all a family. Like, you do everything together.
No other
So,
team
like-
ran like us at uni. We
No,
were
no.
the elite.
Never.
No.
No.
No, and to jump onto that, so like you guys know how close me and Martin were when we were down in uni and stuff. And that first year, my first year, we're not making the team, which we also used to sell to freshers to make sure they turned up at social, which is by far. I think who came into that meeting, Corey, of you and me? It was JJ. That was your year. So Marco was sat in there.
There was
We had
Marco
just cut,
in there.
yeah, and we
Marco,
just
what a
cut
boy.
Marco,
What a
and
boy.
I think we took Shem in with us, and Shem was like, "How do we tell them about the cut 'em?" And me and Shem were like, "Me and Corey, like, don't worry, we've got this and lot." And it was like, "Guys, you're not unfortunately not going to make the team here, but we really want you to come to social. And if you keep coming social, you'll get a chance to probably play." And then it was like, yeah. So Tom, I was like, we were bigging me up as in like I was this sort of like godly figure. I was like, yeah, Tom turned up. He didn't make the team. He kept coming social, turned up at training, and then he makes it. Look at him now. That could be
He
you.
started dunking and
And they all turned up.
Jimmy Butler style.
But
sort
if
of
you if you
undrafted
think about
guy.
it though, if you think about it, it actually worked because we said that, and then in the last year, Marco was vice captain.
He's got to be the first. He's got to be the first vice captain to never play, hasn't
Must be.
I love him.
Mate, and then all of those freshers turned up that night, and I remember Shem going, "How did you do that?" I was like, "We just sell them anything." But
that was massive. That turnout.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was like
Social was
30 odd people. Yeah.
that was great.
yeah, that and then so with me and Martin, when I turned up, I didn't make it. I remember being told by the old coach Josh, who was a good coach. He ran us really well. He put into me and Corey all of the traditions that we took on with you guys. So, you know, the setup on the court with the coloured chairs and the benches, that was him. He could put that in us. And he said to me, he was like, "Oh, if you turn up every Saturday morning or Sunday morning, you can play. There's open court." And me and Martin were the only two there for 4 months, which is why that then continued every year. And going on to the sort of family sort of guy that Martin was, whenever I needed anything, I knew I could phone Martin. When I did my dissertation, his wife, she was someone I interviewed for my dissertation. They made me dinner. So he is an absolute ledge for that. And he loved more than anything the social aspect, because our first year we had our welcoming party and we had to wait under the pier. We were in bikinis, all sorts, mid-November. Him and his wife are walking underneath the pier, laughing at us. They were there watching us. Going, yeah. I think he took a pint. He took a can with him, like everything. He was watching. He absolutely loved it all.
Literally pointing and laughing, drinking a beer, like excellent.
You see, Martin, yeah. We would be having social on a Wednesday, and randomly you hear a knock on our house. Who the hell's knocking on a Wednesday? I'm gonna come here with a bottle of vodka. There you go, guys. Oh, sorry, got to run.
He would literally run. Yeah.
He doesn't drive. He doesn't drive. He just runs away.
Do you remember we went cameo with him? And everyone went downstairs when it just opened. And Martin was just like, "Right, Greg, got to go." And I saw him sprinting to the middle of cameo.
He's a great guy. Honestly, a great guy. He'll love this as well. He'll love the fact that we're all sitting here.
Like, well, we saw it. Remember when we saw him when we went down, just randomly in Jesters.
Yeah, we're in the pub and he was with his mates, wasn't he?
He just turned up and revealed his mask like a superhero.
He literally strolled up to our table and was like, "All right, boys, how you doing?"
We're sitting there with like 2 or 3 of those like massive pints.
We've got about 15 litres of Stella on the table.
One of Stella, yeah.
I'm also going to ask you, boys, what's your favourite game you played in? So for mine is the Brunel game.
JP, me and you're out of this one, mate.
for me, this went down in my head, and I still think about this. And this is my ego loving it. So that same Brunel game with JJ's half-court shot is the one where I did my little speech at the beginning, which nearly went down. Jeez. Nearly went down as the worst speech until Sadiq, he took it personally and started like, "No, I ain't having that.
Yeah.
Without him, that was going down. It went down. It was going. He made that speech. So that game for me was my biggest one.
By the way, we beat them by like 12 or 17. I don't remember the number yet, but that speech was the reason why we beat them. And since that game, we could not lose to Brunel. I'm sorry.
100%.
That game was funny because that was
the Brunel curse. Like they couldn't beat us after that.
that was the first game where we made it a thing to turn up in social outfits, and we turned up as nerds.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I was wearing a full-on nerd outfit, and Sadiq didn't see me on the bus. He didn't see me till I got off. I got off the bus, and I was wearing like the braids. Yeah, suspenders with glasses. And he was like, so you're our social circ and vice captain? I was like, yeah.
He really just came to play. Like he was not fucking around with any of this. Like, he just pulled out.
Nah.
So saying about favourite games, I do have a favourite game, and there's a couple of moments in this that we always laugh about no matter what. And it was away. Was it Canterbury I always talk about where they had number 5?
No. Westminster.
Westminster.
Yeah.
Westminster. So that game was probably my favourite game I've ever watched of university basketball. This number 5 looked like Manny Pacquiao, but smaller. Right? He was so finesse. He had a step back, like the ball, like he dribbled the ball between his legs, and the ball like filled the whole gap in his legs. He was that small, right? And then after that, do you remember they had the big guy who just had pure limbs? His arms were so long. And no, a white guy. And he got fouled on the shot. They were down by like 32. And he got fouled on the shot.
Oh, he got really
and he screamed and flexed on everyone. Turned around, looked at me flexing. And I just went, you're 32 down. And he just, like, that was arguably one of the best and most technical guards I've ever seen, playing with a team of people that didn't have a clue what was going on. I couldn't win that game.
Guys, can we not speak
about number? He had to be in a different league. He was in one of the best. Can we not speak about number 1? I don't want to speak about number 5 ever again. My head hurts, man.
He had size 3 feet. Like he was so small.
I had to guard him.
Shoot. He could shoot. He had a smile.
Step back shoot as well.
I was in an episode of Tom and Jerry, and I was Tom. Like I was just trying to change names the whole time.
Millsy, what's your favourite game?
I mean, I'm probably agreeing with that game because that was the game I remember I came on at half time after Corey's little pep talk. It was like,
shoot the ball,
just shoot the ball, just shoot. And I was like,
it was pretty tight at half time as well.
All I just seen was Peter just get absolutely floored and ankle broken by that number 5. Oh, brilliant! I'm now going to mark him as well. Like, this will be fun.
And then we switched up when it was half time. We were up by a few. It was close, and then I told you to shoot, and you came out and you hit 2 or 3 threes on the bounce. And then suddenly we just won every single turnover. And we just hit like 18 fast break points in a row. And at no point did they call a timeout or anything. So we had got 9 points up anyway because of your threes. I know you had 2 threes and a 2 that was just inside. And it was a deep
Classic.
2. And then suddenly it was just like everyone was defensively amazing, getting steals. And it was just like, oh, by the way, Greg's an outlet.
Yeah, Greg was always an outlet. Greg was always an outlet.
Him and his passing. Greg was doing, but on the other side, to be fair.
That was the first time me and Paulis kind of played like you could see it together properly because that was his first year and everyone was still kind of learning to play with him. It was the first game where we was like we could see how each other played.
Hard to play with, but extremely talented.
I didn't get on with him in a basketball sense. No, actually, in a basketball sense was me and him got on purely on a basketball sense because again with the starting 5, backup 5 was how it ran, and that second 5 was I think me, Paulis, JJ Mills, and Martin would sit in that as well, and he didn't want me to have the ball. That was like he just didn't like the idea of me dribbling the ball. He hated it, and then there's my ego was I wanted the ball more than anyone. Going into them, Paulis, and talking about training, who would you guys pick as the best training 5 you would have? So JP, coming to training, what's your 5 for any scrimmage in training out of the boys that you've played with? Some of them on here.
It's a no contest. I'm sorry, boys, but it's got to be Wayne at the point, Greg at 2, perhaps me at the 3 or 4, Champagne centre, and then it's either original JJ or Aaron, purely from
Aaron was hard.
The wetted shot.
Too much.
It's got to be Aaron.
Absolute bunnies as well. He was too loose with it, wasn't he?
He was the only guy to shoot a fadeaway and get closer to the basket.
Oh, crazy. Like,
he would go back, but he would land underneath the basket, and it would bank in.
His shot mechanics were genuinely so terrible.
It was so pure.
But the snap on the wrist was too much. Like his shot was so nice.
Corey, you saw a lot of training sessions in your time. What's your training team 5? You ain't got playing it, don't worry.
I'll start myself at centre, mate. I'm undersized, but so 1 and 2 for me. This is the hard bit because I saw Xander play, and that means I've got to drop someone. And I think if anyone had seen Xander play in his standard 30-point, 35-point games, I think they would understand. But I feel like Wayne might have to be my sacrifice on this one.
Hi, my name's Wayne.
So, I love your game, but Xander was a different level. So Xander at 1.
And it was hard.
And then I'm going to go Greg at 2. I'm going to go, despite not liking, I didn't dislike him, but he just wasn't loved at uni. Ross at 3.
No, never.
You guys, you never met Ross, all right? But he was
Southeast England basketball. He was the best player.
Everything you thought original JJ could be, Ross was that and better.
Ross was that, but with better decision making, better passing. Well, he wasn't as flary, he wasn't as thing, but he was an elite. He played Southeast England basketball. Like, he was that good. And I've seen him score 9 threes in a game. Seen him drop 35, and most of them from the arc. Like, he was that good.
Oh, so this Ross guy was actually like a shooter.
He was a born shooter. He could just pull up. You could come off a screen, off the dribble, find him in the corner, find him at the top. Like, he could just hit everything.
I thought it was defensive.
And then I'm going to go.
Baller.
I think Xander and Ross are the only 2 that make it in from the original team because of what other players have become. Like, I feel like Tom now, with your basketball experience after years of uni, going up against Jarvis or going up against Ansdale, yeah, you might have had a tough game, but I still feel like you would have competed.
Name.
So I'm going to go Shem at 4 and Tom, I'll go you at 5. But obviously you 2 can play stretch or you can rotate. So
you just can't shoot.
So, yeah, Xander, Greg, Ross, Shem, and Hoop Teacher. That's my starting 5. I feel like the starting 5 we had though when I was there with you guys was what I would have gone with anyway, because I feel like I would have wanted to see those teams play each other. Like, that's something I want to see at some point, and I think it can happen. I think we can make it happen, but they don't really like me, and
I'm retired.
Yeah. Wayne's got no knees. I'll play pointers, right? Kick the shit out of
Greg. Greg, what's your 5 from training then?
It's like
training 5.
For like me, Wayne, and shit. I think it's hard to say because we're in that year where it's like we played with your generation, our generation, and the generations below.
Yeah. It's just,
so if we had because I would like Xander's probably one of the best. Like, he's one of the best people that's probably ever played at Brighton. But with us, with our lot, we only saw him kind of like half the time because he would come in from his masters, wouldn't he? Like half the game.
Just for the game as well. So we never really got to see much.
No, but obviously, like, you knew he was good. With JJ, like original JJ, it was like everyone knew he could shoot, but then it'd come to game, he just like
the most frustrating player ever. Most frustrating player.
Yeah. He just didn't want to because he didn't want to see it. No one wanted to see him sweat.
It wasn't pretty.
Yeah. I think for the start, like, I would have for the starting 3, I'd have to go me, Wayne, Shem, because that was our original 3 for like playing, and then I would go Tom, and then I would also go Brighton Sadiq.
Yes.
Yeah, in training.
Do you
remember him versus JJ? No, well, yes. Wayne versus JJ, but Sadiq got all the points for it. Yeah, I would go him at 5. Yeah, he was ridiculous.
I think
he was like a super nice guy as well, though, because on his weekends he used to teach like Down syndrome and autism kids basketball. Yeah, I used to when I went to the gym, I would see him blow, and he'd be with all these guys, and he'd be like laughing and smiling. I'd be like, he never smiled at me once.
Yeah, I cracked a joke once. All right, I cracked a joke and said something. He looked at me, and I was like, well, "That's it. That's my whole family dead."
Remember him? There were times in the train where I think me and Corey could look at each other and know what to do. We wanted to make him laugh, but there were times you get so close, but also you go, he's going to beat us up in a minute. He's on that edge of he's either going to laugh or he's going to jump over and
Don't get me wrong.
Away games used to bring a newspaper. Used to bring a newspaper to away games and read it on the way back. I was like, I'm not messing with his paper. I'm not doing it.
He needs to set fire to it as he's reading it. Watch him fully lose it.
Yeah.
Shem, what's your 5 then? What's your training 5?
All right, so my 5, like Greg said, it's pretty awkward because we played with like the older generations and the new generations, and like I want to put because Tom, you never really got to see Jake play that much. The newer guy, you know, the really tall. I'm not gonna lie, natural talent. He's probably one of the best players that's ever.
No, he was good. Like when you say like someone frustrating to play with, like the old JJ, like Jake was probably that of like our age because he was like he was 6'8". He could handle the ball, he could shoot, but he tried to play point guard and be 6'8".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could just throw the ball inside and he could just dunk it at people. But
instead he couldn't be too mad with him because he actually did make it as well. He did make the shots. But the thing, I want to put him in that category, but he never had the time to play with our team long enough to get that chemistry.
And he missed half the season as well.
And he did a real course.
So it's like me putting him in that list is stuff.
What course did he do?
He did like some business crap.
That's real sort of stuff. All right, so then that's a hard one. Then what's your 5? What's your 5, Shem?
So my 5, I'll probably still put Greg, Wayne, Greg, Wayne. Can I put myself in there?
Yeah, of course. Mate, I'm playing every position in my team.
Tom's actually playing his own. He's starting 5 as himself.
Yeah, me, Greg, Wayne. I'll probably put Brighton Sadiq because he balled out, man. He was a threat. And then it's either Tom because Tom was kind of like the leader. Like you need a leader, kind of like defensive leader. I'm not like talking about as a captain, but like defensively, you need. Because I needed Tom to kind of tell me what to do on defense. So
Shem, again, the other week I spoke about you and me had a chat just before I left, and it was like what I do on defense and why I talk so much. And I told these lot my little secret about what I used to think when I was on defense.
I know exactly what you're saying.
About me being mic'd up.
Yeah. It works. It works. It does work.
And every time I was on defense, as long as I'm mic'd up and someone from ESPN is going to go, and we go down to Tom Calvary, why mic'd up? That's all I always thought in my head. So I just chat rubbish.
If you like look like you know what you're chatting shit about, the other teams are like, what the fuck? And they get confused. Like, and it fucking works, man.
Yeah, it does. So me or who? It was me or...
So the lineups, Greg, me, Wayne, you, and Sadiq. But that's probably from the 5 for me.
That's in terms of size and strength. That's actually quite a big 5 compared to what was in the league.
Thanks, guys. And speed.
The thing is, it's weird because
me, JP, Corey, and Wayne, and then have a race at some point. I'm definitely winning that.
No,
Wayne got time for that.
I'll stop practicing now.
We'll get the ref in as well.
Roger.
It will smoke us all, honestly. It will smoke us all. He's probably still reffing basketball like on Brighton Beach or something, whereas we're all sitting and doing nothing.
Who's this?
Roger, the 79-year-old referee that's just as quick as Tom.
Oh, Roger. Oh, you know Roger does like BBL games and stuff as well. Division 1.
He doesn't. No, you're talking waffle. The geezer was one of the worst refs I've ever seen.
I promise you, I was watching Division 1. I was watching Division 1 and Roger was reffing. I'm telling you, and I was like, oh my God, that's Roger. What is he doing there?
JJ, as we're down with you then, what's your 5? What's your training?
Well, obviously, I missed all of like Xander. I never really saw Xander play. Training 5, I get nowhere near it because I was probably the worst trainer Brighton's ever seen. can't train. Just didn't fancy it, which is probably why no one knew I could play basketball for a year and a half.
Used to show up wearing like the weirdest and one vests and like the tightest shorts known to mankind.
Turned up to play football.
I saw you wear an actual Primark vest and a do-rag to training once as well.
That was a good training session when we all wore do-rags.
It's constant. The training sessions were always at bad times, especially for that first year, because you go out 3 times. So you have Monday nights out, and then Tuesday would be training, then you have Wednesday nights out, and then Thursday would be training. So I was consistently hungover for all of them, and I didn't want to go to any of them. I was just turning up. I was either drunk or hungover at all the sessions. So I was struggling big time. So yeah. Someone that was good in training, but I mean, Tarka was real good shooter, but he did it a lot in training. But when we got to the game, he didn't really make that many threes. But so I go Wayne, Greg, Shem, obviously. I'll probably put Paulus in it because towards the end, first year, everyone was a bit like, but Paulus made the trainings like really competitive. Our games got really competitive. One, because people actually didn't want Paulus to score on them because he just take the ball and just go like, because a lot of the time, so it was the team would be like me, Wayne, Greg, Sherman, I know Jake, and then it'd be Millsy and then it'd be Paulus, and like the bench group. So and Paulus just wouldn't pass to like any of the other guys. He'd just go 1-on-1 with people and just try and score. And he'd just get really angry at people and shout whatever extra marked or whatever it is. He got our training sessions like go because we was more than likely hungover, so he got us all going, and we all wanted to beat him. So I put Paulus in there for that, and I'll probably go you, Tom, because you helped me a lot as well in first year, just because you'd been through that. I remember one time that I got picked for the first game, but I think it was I can't remember. And then a few people come back, and then you sent me a big long message saying like, because I'd been in drops, and you sent me a big long message to say how it's nothing to do with you. Like obviously we've got things, and you just got to keep coming back and proving yourself. And like if we're talking training, like you used to run training and stuff, and be like the second coach on the floor. So yeah, Wayne, Greg, Shem, and Paulus.
Decent. I can't believe you lot actually listened to us for so long.
No, mate, no idea. the thing is, like, this is what always baffled me. I said this to the other boys as well. My first year, the seniors in my first year were unreal. Like they were, and then same issue you have, and you guys said about the different teams you've played with. My first year, I spent most of the time watching them, and it was like, wow. And they all did all of that for me. Like I say, they pulled me aside, said stuff. And funny thing is, with mine and Corey's first social was Army night social in like the second week, because we didn't even make it out the first week of social, did we? Second week Army night, and we got absolutely smashed. And we both sat there the next morning and said, "Oh, we want to be social sex. We want to be this, and this." And we made a plan. I've got to make the team, and Corey's got to turn up every game and smashed. But the seniors we had were split down the middle. There's a playing seniors and then the non-playing one. So the Corey UC was like embodied by every non-playing senior we ever had. So like all of
Jay Moffat, Dino,
like
Russell,
you think
Tom
of Corey,
Kennedy,
whatever he's learned has come from these people that did it sometimes worse, but rolled into one.
Yeah,
and then
I took 5 personalities on board, didn't I? There was 5 versions of me. Like you should have seen. You should have seen when I met Dino and Russell. Like that's the story for another day, and not for the camera.
Yeah.
But when I met those guys, it was a different story. I'll explain it after we stop filming. But yeah,
they were different level.
To be fair, when it comes to like Tom and Corey, it's quite weird because I mean, for me, Shem and Greg, we listen to you guys so much that like you kind of paved the way in terms of basketball, how it's supposed to be played from Tom and how it's supposed to be run from Corey. And I remember like Tom and Corey sitting next to each other on the bench. Tom, you weren't playing. I think you came back to watch us play. And the only 2 voices I could hear in the whole court,
it's them two.
The whole court was them 2. And it was weird because everyone was shouting. I could only hear you 2 voices. And all I used to do in the background, you see me just doing this. And at least you put my thumbs up there. Because I can only hear those two. I cannot hear anyone's voice. And what they're thinking, what they're saying is exactly what I'm thinking. And I told you I have a problem with authority, so I've got to let you know that I know what you're talking about. But it's like, it's just phenomenal how, like, to this day, I'll probably still listen to you guys. You probably told me, go run over that wall. I'm like, my knees hurt, but like, wait, go run over the wall. Okay, fine, I'll go.
The thing is, I think it's what me and Tom showed. I sound like him as well now. It's what me and Tom showed was the fact of we would tell you to do something, but if we tell you to run through a wall, you best believe I'm running through it first. Like, and I think I played a part.
Everything you said at any point, at any time in first year.
Yeah, like
we won't let you do anything unless we've done
it. And if I tell you to do it and I haven't done it, you best believe I'm going to do it with you.
I've never been so dedicated to like two people in my whole life.
Oh yeah, you're so committed.
You were so fucking loyal.
We used to turn up to social like 15 minutes early.
Yeah, do you remember when Shem threw his boxes in the sea? But to be fair, I think that relays into games as well, is in the sense of you say that when we're on the sideline, the two voices you can hear are myself and Tom's. But a lot of the time, the things I was saying were at you, but also I would do my utmost to get in the other team's head. And I've caused it. I've caused players to lose their games on the court. And this is a part of the reason I say I'm a massive part of the basketball team, in the sense of I never played. I never had anything really to do with it in the sense of game time or anything like that. But you best believe... Ejected. Yeah, I've been ejected, you best believe that I will sit there and if someone's playing well on the other team, I'll get in that person's head, and if I don't, then I'm going to do everything I can to throw them off their game. And 10 out of 10 times it would work. And even their best players who are hitting shots would do something, hit a shot on me. The way I sit is I was sitting on the side of the court. If you hit a shot, you haven't hit that shot on me. I'm just talking crap in your direction. You've hit a shot.
If they're biting, that's their loss.
But if you then look at me and go, see that, I'm going to be like, oh, well, you really just screwed up, because any single mistake you make now, I'm going to ruin your day.
The thing is, though, we get, and me and Corey have a big ego collectively as a team. We have a big ego, but actually, when you look at what we did was nothing, and this is why it's sort of we don't. You guys say, oh, we did all this stuff when at the end of our second year of social sex, we were getting 2 people to social. We were having like empty training sessions. It was purely me and Corey doing everything. And then when you guys turned up, we were like, we've got to change this up massively, purely just to keep basketball from running. Because there were some players in my second year that like shouldn't be near a basketball court. They like, there was points where we didn't get anyone to pay their membership because they weren't turning up next week. We were like, we can't have you in this team. You're that bad. So like when you guys turned up, we were buzzing because you three, JP, when he turned up to have a geezer traveling on a train every week to come to train, and me and Corey were like, what is going on here? He's actually paying it. And the funny thing is, JP had turned up like, where do I get my receipt for his train ticket? And we were like, I don't know. Like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about? Give it here. We'll cash it. Give it here.
Match fees, lads. Match fees.
And that's why the match fee stuff was another thing. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. So anything that remotely looked all right, we were playing it day by day. Who else I missed? Millsy, what's your 5 then? Before we go into, I'll give you mine and Wayne's.
Jeez. Well, probably getting about Donny, I feel like, in training.
Yeah.
Him at number 5. Jeez.
Yeah.
The human
Greek.
The Greek god.
The Greek just sweating away in training. Like, just slip off him. Probably just give him the ball in the corner. And it's like,
he's the only guy I've ever known turn up the training with 2 shirts, but both of them be grey. We all know you're going to sweat. Don't bring a grey shirt.
But yeah, I think him at number 5. I mean, I'd probably put you in there, Tom, next as 4, and then Shem as a 3. Just get them, go big.
Shoot threes now.
Just because then you've got the leadership from Tom, but then you've also got Shem there defending the hell out of it.
And Donny, the bully. No one forgot.
But then, training-wise, then it's probably... just bullying him. No one's getting in that key at all. But and then probably the front 2. God, probably should go Greg and Wayne. Right, Greg just assisting everywhere and the ball up and hoping someone will catch it, or throw in some impossible pass. Yeah, exactly. And then Wayne just in the point, you know, strolling up the
Speak for
court,
itself.
acknowledging
Yeah.
everyone.
Doing what I do.
We cast.
But yeah,
Wayne, it's good transitioning to you then. What's your training 5? You got to turn up scrimmage. What's your 5?
See, I was looking, but I heard what you said, what one of you lot said about, you know, Xander, like, starting over me and stuff, yeah. And I had no problem having Xander starting over me because he was a fantastic player. What the small glimpse I saw him play in the game is like, damn, this guy's a hell of a player, man. Because he didn't really turn up and train and stuff like that, but he always came at home, second half of the game.
No warm up.
And he balled out. No warm up. And he balled out. Got his ankle broken.
Comes in and drops
but, like,
25. Like,
yeah. But however, like, I'll put myself at first because I'm not coming off my bench. I'll quit basketball. And I'll put Greg at 2 because, again, Greg's a phenomenal passer. If it's not me passing the ball, it's Greg. And I put Shem at 5. And when it comes to me, Shem and Greg, the way we play basketball, we pass each other the ball so much because we want the other person to score. But we end up making 5-6 passes in a triangle and forgetting that we have a shot clock. And
So close to the shot clock.
yeah, and
So
the defense don't know what's going on and stuff. So one of us has got to shoot, but we don't want to shoot because we want the other person to score. And then I'll put Tom at the 5 because, again, like, Tom's leadership is, I'd rather be second to Tom than second to anyone else in terms of leadership. His leadership is phenomenal. Like, I got my leadership from you. And I have to put Paulus in there, man. Like, Paulus is one of those players. Once you know how to play with him, like, is what he brings to the team is phenomenal. Like,
he does bring intensity.
100%. If he's on your team, you're gonna get 100% out of him every single time. If you're not doing well, he's gonna call you out, man. And I've got so much respect for him because, like, in every single time me and him in the same team, because I'm really competitive. And he's super competitive, and like he brings out the best out of everyone who's competitive.
He
brings out the
actually
best out
does
of everyone
have
who wants to do well.
Mamba
Like,
mentality, doesn't he?
yeah, like
his single one goal is win, and that's what he cares about.
And no
sometimes you
matter,
need that.
he'll try his best because, like, the starting 5 in training used to be me, Shem, Greg, JJ, and whoever's there. Like, Tom, you weren't there half of the training session, so you wouldn't be there, but it would be like another player. And it'll be Paulus versus Paulus on the bench. Paulus will give 100% every single time. And me, Shem, and Greg, we wouldn't really care what's going on. We used to just play around, you know, and stuff like that. And obviously, naturally, would win. But when Paulus used to like his team used to do well, like, me and Greg used to look at each other like, okay, cool, now let's start playing better because he used to bring that intensity every single time, man. And I've actually had falling outs with Paulus in the court, and I love it because, like, you know, your brothers and you're so competitive that he's got to just come out, and I have to have him on my team, man. Like, he's got to be in my team. Any team I'm in, he's got to be in my team, and I had to pick.
That's fair. Like I say, mine with Paulus was, I think me and him came at the wrong time in terms of when we were playing. Because I had my last couple of months and I was trying to go out on this, like, I wanted everything perfect. And then Paulus turned up and it was, as I said, and this is nothing against Paulus, and I think a lot of people suffer when they look at players like me, JP, in the same bracket as well. You turn up and people like, well, what are you doing? You shouldn't be playing. And like, no athleticism. And I think one of the first training sessions, I think Martin gave me the ball to play point, and he looked at that, was like, I've seen this guy warm up, miss every shot. And it's like what am I missing? I think that for people like Paulus, Patrick, all very good players. I definitely saying Paulus is better, but I think it baffled them that I was getting the ball when they weren't. And I think that bench 5 that I had, I was given the ball, and it made no sense to players like Paulus.
Paulus,
and then me and him butted head that way. Yeah,
Paulus is a guy like he'll play basketball, and he won't really give you the ball until like he trusts you and knows what you can do. It's like one of those guys you probably all play with guys like that before. Like, I've played for like men's teams, and like, because you're like the young kid, do you know what I mean? They'll be like, nah, I won't pass him, I'll just go on my own. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Paulus has got that, like, if he doesn't trust you and know that you're actually going to do something with it and not just give it back to the other team. Like,
if he doesn't respect you as a player, you're not getting the ball.
No,
and that was the problem. I think me and him, where we butted our heads.
That was also because he couldn't play with everyone. He can't play with, of course, with every lineup. Like, no offense to like certain players on the team, but if he's on the team, on the weaker team, with like certain players, like, all right, I'm just gonna throw his name out. If he's with Femi, Femi's never gonna get the ball, and Femi will never get better because Paulus is not going to pass him the ball just because it's that. But if he's on a team with like JJ, me, Greg, Wayne, he's passing it around and being a good player.
Yeah, to be fair, you just mentioned a name now. I've got to shout Femi out. I remember I came back from you guys have been playing a year and I was working and I came back from one training session. And again, I picked Femi up on the top of the key and he moved and I nearly rolled my ankle, but no one saw it. So like he just shifted a little bit and I like stumbled a little bit and I was playing with this idea that every year I was like close to defensive player of the year, whatever. And I walked out and I said to Mike, I was like, I can't guard him ever. Never put me on him again. Like put him on my team every week. I can't be there because I thought he was going to roll my ankle. Like he was so quick.
I feel sorry
about Paulus.
Yeah, no, there's two things actually, Paulus and Femi. I feel like in my time at uni around basketball, I don't think I gave Paulus enough respect for how good he actually was. Like that man. I've seen games where we're down by 5 and we need to win, and he's gone, I'll do it. And he's gone, he's driven, he's pulled up and he's hit a big three, and then the next possession, bang, he's stolen the ball, he's driving forward, he gets it down one. And it's like, I think because of perspective of him not necessarily being involved as much of the basketball sense, I feel like I sleep on him, but he's really, really good. Like he is severely talented.
Yeah,
and he's him and Xander, I think this is a big claim as well. Him and Xander are two people to look at and go, you are extremely good. They play two very different games. Paulus is very aggressive. He's very loud, really quite European in the way he plays.
Very European.
A lot of weight room.
Extremely
works.
Can I?
I was going to say, just as for Femi, for me, it was a bit of a disappointment that he never got better. Like he was progressing. And just when you think, right, this kid is ready to do something, it kind of tailed off, or he would do something, he would be distracted, or he'd be doing uni work, and he's the type of guy that needed 3 sessions a week.
He does uni work at uni.
But he needed 3 sessions a week. He was a 3 session a week player.
He just couldn't deal with like pressure or organization though, because if you actually saw him either at like Park Life or when we used to stay after training and just play, he was actually good. Like individually as a basketball player,
sure.
he could play.
If I was playing a one-on-one competition, I'm thinking about choosing Femi because he's actually good at his basketball skills was not the problem with Femi. It was like him like understanding plays, like where to be. Like
it was his IQ and his commitment to the cause.
Yeah.
Like,
Can I say something?
Yeah, Wayne.
I feel like we're really underappreciating Shem, because out of all the players we played against, there's only been the only one player who could guard every single player we just ever met, we just ever said, and that's Shem. Shem can guard from 1 through 5, no matter what it is. We might have our good games against Shem, but I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna have a load of bad games against him because he's long, he's athletic, man. And if you needed to stop Paulus, just put Shem on him. That's it.
Never wanted to take him.
If Paulus having a good game, hey Shem, can you start trying a little bit more? Yeah, that's the solution. Same way, like me, Shem, and Adonis. Okay, let me say it. I'll take that back. I apologize. Adonis is the only player who could go past. Me, Shem, and Adonis.
Adonis had my ankles there.
Me, Shem, and Adonis, we played countless of one-on-ones, hours and hours. And Adonis, that man can really score on anyone, man. When he tries, because like he could score on anyone, but it's just a shame that he didn't do it as much as he can definitely do. Like,
so
I have to rebound for him, and he wouldn't miss a shot, so it'll be easy rebounds. And I give him back the ball, like. Whereas if you rebound for me, you might be running miles and stuff like that.
20 pounds, Wayne.
20 pounds, it's just remanners.
Here's a little thing about Donis, and I agree. An absolute scorer. I would take him in a one-on-one competition because, again, he could score at every point. Free, he was decent. He could drive. The funny story about him, and you guys will be aware of this, that he was 2 years older than me, or 2 uni years older, and he joined the team prior, but he didn't get on with them. He didn't enjoy turning up to training.
He told us.
I remember him saying.
Yeah, he told us.
And then that is a credit to us lot or you lot mainly, because you really embraced him into that. Because me and Tori had our own thing with Donny prior to him turning up to basketball.
Norris didn't like Corey. Let's just say that. Yeah, I don't know about Tom, but he just didn't like Corey. I'm just openly gonna say he hated Joel.
The problem was there was
Corey's a dick. That's the problem.
no. There was again. I think a female might have been involved.
I don't even remember any of this. I thought me and Donny were cool. I didn't even know any of this.
No,
Corey,
I didn't like you before.
Corey, I'll drop you a message now just so we don't throw any other names out there. But yeah, when you have a look at when yeah, there you go. His face has dropped it. Yeah. I can't talk that loud with it because of
obvious reasons.
With Corey with it, because it really caused some. I think it caused issues between you and him with that, and then that made him really have that sort of friction with you. But that was why when he turned up to training, I think the first couple of sessions, Martin was like, "Oh, I want Donny to play," and I was like, "I'm not sure that's a good idea. I'm not sure that'll work." So he really brought into you guys, which then made it easier for him to sort of fall in line with us. And then I think the best thing that Donny brought to anything to do with basketball was Donny's stories on the way home from a basketball game.
The chainsaw.
Those stories.
I would pay good money to get back.
I used to love the noises he would make.
Yeah.
He's really descriptive in everything he said. Very, very descriptive.
He'd be a great storyteller.
Yeah. Because like it would go on for 25 minutes and there's like a 2-minute story, but the noises, the description of everything.
We all remember the descriptions.
We always remember the frozen cucumber, like that sort of stuff.
Let's say something. Yeah? He will start a story and we'll be sober. We finish the story and we absolutely finished.
Everyone drink every time he says this. Everyone drink every time he does that. Everyone drink every time he makes a sound effect.
Yeah.
Also, do you know what? I'm completely oblivious to this. This whole thing, I thought me and Donny were cool. Like,
really?
I am completely oblivious to any of this. I never knew, Tom, what you text me, like, I never knew that was even a thing.
I didn't either. And then late on, it must have been like I returned and he made a comment to me and I was like, what? But
was it me or you?
Me.
So what did I do?
So it was me, but you being you caused a bit more issue.
That's all right.
But I don't remember.
So I'm going to give you my 5 here, and this is again a really hard thing to do because the best player I played with is Xander, and I know we've all talked about him, and you guys didn't see the proper Xander as much, but I go back to it. There was times in training, and this is why Martin did this to annoy us. He would put me and Xander with 3 randoms, like whoever turned up. Do you remember the guy who used to be in the gym and practice his like jab step?
Yeah,
Mr. Ball is life.
Yeah.
Mr. Bucks, Mr. Braces, Mr. Jab.
He actually played.
I hate that guy.
He played in the training session with me and Xander. He was on mine and Xander's team, and that's what I mean. Martin gave us whoever, and then the other 5 was like original JJ, Patrick, the other Sadiq. Martin was on that team, absolute, and we beat him like 30-2, something ridiculous like that. And all we did was run the court. I set a screen for Xander, and he pulled up. Like, that's all we did. I've never seen anyone. Every time I set a screen for him, I knew he was going to shoot and get in. I'd set a screen and start running back. It didn't matter. So I don't know if he plays anymore, but he was an unbelievable talent. And he's also similar to you, Greg, where he could play inside for someone who isn't that tall. Like, he had that ability.
Yeah.
He was only 5'11", 6 foot, wasn't he? He wasn't like tall at all.
And there was points that like he would play inside against bigs and dominate them, and we were like, how are you doing this? So he goes in there at my 2. My second one, again, you guys didn't meet him, but he was a hell of a point guard, was a guy called Matt Tanton. Again, you guys didn't meet him. He was my point guard my first year, right? And he's the reason. Martin gets a lot of credit, but Matt gets so much credit in my eyes for me making the team. So on that Thursday session, Matt came out and went, I want Tom in there. Like, Tom's on my team. I was like, that's cool, sweet. The senior's calling me, like, want me on the team. he used to shoot and would miss the same shot every time. And I won every rebound. I just stood knowing where I'd stand this side of the basket, catch it, put it away. That's all I did. So I always got his rebound. So the fact he missed every shot and I won every rebound he put up got me in the team. And he was very big on me playing that. I don't, and then this is where it gets hard because I'd have to go Wayne, Shem, Greg here and drop myself just to, I'll be sixth man on that team. But I'm missing out on some big players, and I'm just on a list of names. Donny's one, JJ Mills, you're also in there.
Well, I've changed my mind on Donny now, so. I'm actually
not taking it personal.
That's all I'm thinking about. I thought we were cool.
You know that picture of MJ from The Last Dance, and it's like that. I then took it personal. Like that was it. That's what Corey's right now. I think what I think it also went down. There's other players like I don't know if you guys played with Paul Ansell. He was like
unnecessarily strong.
The strongest guy ever. He could bench press the building. There's no doubt in my mind.
The thing is, he got like 86% in his dissertation, and he's got like a PhD, and they published one of his pieces of work to disprove an old piece of work, and that was when me and Tom were in that study. Page 9 out of 13 on the case that he used. Just saying, but because Tom was a freak of nature, but
yeah, mate. Weirdly, I ruined everyone's dissertation because of being a freak. Like whatever I did, I ended up messing dissertations up.
See, I ruined everyone's dissertation because I was that bad. I was the outlier in every dissertation.
I did. So you know and you guys did sports science. You know the electrical stimulations you get in the legs and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys made it that far in your course, but
graduated.
How many actually? Yeah. Right. But
we had to switch courses though, Shem.
Yeah. What it was, this idea that stimulation meant you couldn't run as quick or you were unable to play better. I was the only person that gained speed from leg stimulations. So it was like, how am I running? I used to run quicker, jump higher, and they'd be like, this shouldn't happen. Why are you getting leg stimulations and doing everything more athletic? Like there was no reason to why.
So the onset of fatigue in your body was
third gear. You stick to third gear. You stay to it. You don't get faster or slower. You just stick to it.
I started in third gear.
For the viewers, so Tom went from really, really slow to really slow. If you guys didn't want to know. Yeah.
No, Tom went from standing still to really slow. Those were his two speeds. Like, there was nothing else in between. It was all out sprint or what a normal person's jog.
It will never be too fast or too slow. It was just like
Can I say a story as well? So Paulius got the rebound, and I was supposed to be the fast break guy against one team. So I started at the 3-point line. He started at the baseline. He beat me down the court, and he was dribbling with the ball. And I was supposed to be the outlet. I was supposed to be the outlet pass. And I was like, damn, that's slow. Like that guy who's dribbling the ball is faster than me, and I'm running at my full pace. Guys, I was running at my full pace, and I'm watching him just beat me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, it got to a point where I just stopped running. Like, I stopped playing defense, man. If you need me, I'm there. But like, I stopped playing defense. I stopped running. There was no fast breaks, no slow breaks.
I remember one time and this is why Xander's always in my team, because he was the only person to like really call me out when playing. Like I had to play with you guys, this might just be because of the way how close we were and stuff, but people couldn't like say I've done something wrong. Like Martin didn't either. He wouldn't call me out. Xander one game grabbed me by the shirt and he was like, there's 8 other people in this court that are quicker than you. This other guy is that slow, you'll beat him. And he was like, why are you not driving past him? And I remember thinking, like, I'm definitely not quicker than this kid. He was like, Xander was like, you're quicker than him. I think I then had a fast break. I get slower with the ball. I get quicker with the ball than I do without. Like me running down court just isn't quick. Like it just never been part of my game. And I also you guys give me a bit of credit, a bit too much credit, really. More the leadership I get, but and that's a funny reason I think I got ahead of JP when he turned up was that leadership thing, because I made you guys believe I was a great passer. I made you guys believe that was a great defender. I weren't. I was just good at standing in the right position. I wouldn't defend. If someone would defend, if I had to play 1-on-1, I just made this idea that I could out defend them. I just sort of stood in the right place and blamed it on other people. That was it. Or if someone scored on me, I was the inbounder and inbound it really quick and get gone. It was like, everyone forget about that. That was it. Nothing else. I was not there for actual playing basketball.
Yeah, your best talent was definitely your IQ, right? Like your IQ is the best I've ever played with.
Wasn't it speed? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, and it was because I'm not a basketball player. So when I grew up, I never played basketball. So I didn't play organised basketball until university. So I played school games, which are nothing because you could play one school game to play against a team with like 3 kids who know how to play basketball, or then a game where all 5 of them are rugby players and can't bounce a ball. So like, do you mean it meant nothing? And then when I turned up at uni, I just thought I wanted to play it, and I had no game. So I think once I like tried to do a fadeaway, definitely didn't go in, or I like tried to drive past someone, wasn't happening. So I was like, I've just got to learn it. I knew it anyway, and I watched it. I just had to learn it. I think, JP, we joked about your year 11 sixth form stats, but that is the same for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a little bit like that for me. Just as we mentioned previously, though, like as you mentioned, you know, you were probably more ahead because of like, you know, your experience with the uni team, your IQ. But mostly the way I looked at it is when I was in training, whenever I tried to get a rebound, like I said earlier in the episode, I've saw like the original JJ 3, or I've seen Aaron 3. So that's who I've seen, and then maybe Greg or Wayne at the top of the key. That was mostly my game, really.
Yeah. And I think it does help with the players that you had, and it changes what you do, because I think, and again, I think Shem, Greg, Wayne, Millsy, JJ, you touched this as well. When you're playing with certain players, so Wayne, you're a very good shooter when you want to be, but you didn't need to be a shooter. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That like, and I know that with dependent games, because I think Millsy, I think you're known to us as a shooter with a flat shot, but there was definitely more to your game, but because what suited the team was needing you to do that.
The thing is, with our team, we all had different roles that we needed to fill. So I feel like everyone's a better individual player than what the team needed. So we all filled a role. So the whole team worked because we did well in our role. So I facilitated, even though I could shoot. Tom, you played defense and passed the ball, even though you can do more in terms of your leadership and bring the ball up. Shem could do more, like by passing the ball, even though all he was meant to do is really play defense and score. Greg can do Greg can do everything. I'm gonna ignore what he just said, but Greg could do everything. But all he needed is just to do a little bit of everything what he's already done. JJ, I mean, everyone had a role to do, but we all could do more individually.
I think if we go back to first year when like the 4 of us joined, like, so Greg, Shem, and yourself, Wayne. I've whenever I played basketball in the past, I've never seen a group of people when I've been at training been able to like execute like 5 out or flex better than we actually did as a team. And then, as you mentioned, if the play broke down, then I knew, like, even in training, I could trust either you, Shem, Greg, Tom, to actually take that individual part of their game and you know, score a basket, or, you know, make sure that someone's open for a basket. And I think that's what was key with everyone who played, like on an individual basis. Like you said, they all had that part of the game where, you know, they can take it that step further, and with the ball in their hands, they can take over, and we can rely on them.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on it. I also think we were a bunch of unselfish players. So and Wayne said it earlier with you 3, but I think that goes for Millsy, JJ, JP, definitely, where we didn't care if we were the ones scoring. It was like, as long as, because I always found, and I don't know about you guys, that whenever we did a play of the game after or MVP, it never went to the guy who scored loads. It was always to someone who had done something different.
See, Greg had a saying, every time he passed the ball and the other person scored, like let's say Greg passed me the ball, I'm not actually shooting the ball because he passed it so well. It's like I have to make the ball. I have to put the ball in the bucket, and it's like I'm not doing anything. It's the pass that was so well. I have to just score the goal and score the shot.
I can't even explain how true that is.
Yeah, it's like
oh my God,
whoever passes the ball, because it's such a great pass, you can't miss the shot. Man, no matter what it is.
Well, I'm cautious because I know Wayne and Shem. I don't know how many magnums that's down already, but and I'm not sure who else has got a couple of drinks on them. But it was a definite pleasure having a chat with you guys and catching up. But just before we do that, I want to know what everyone's up to now. Like I know we've done all this, and I don't know what we're all up to. So I'm going to go sort of on my screen. And Millsy, what are you up to now? What's going on with you?
Well, I've just finished. Well, still at uni, kind of not. Well, I'm on my final placement teaching now. So even though it's COVID, started the last 2 weeks ago. So get that out of the way, and then it's forward and up for being a PE teacher, and I'm looking for jobs.
Decent, mate. Well, give me a shout if you need any help with CVs and stuff. I'm right with that. So let me know. Give me a shout. Good luck with that, JJ. What are you doing?
That's a good question. No, well, I'm not doing nothing at the minute because obviously we're in lockdown. But I've been working in primary schools and stuff, doing like coaching, teaching and stuff, basketball, football, that sort of thing.
Decent, man. That sounds good.
Yeah,
that goes well. Shem, what are you doing, Spider-Man?
Hey, man, I'm a Spider-Man.
Tell me what you do first and work it out.
Well, I'm a roofer. I make sure your roofs don't leak, and I make sure they're watertight.
Shem, are roofs on top of buildings, yeah?
Yeah.
That's like first year social all over again.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
Yeah, Shem? Roofs are on top of buildings like Spider-Man would be?
Yeah, no, I get it now.
Yeah. Your face didn't tell me that. I just.
I still don't think he gets it.
I thought I was getting a bit bullied there. I didn't like. Yeah, totally. You didn't have to do that.
To be fair, it's been a while since he's been around me and you, and it's I haven't said anything, but
where he'd storm off upstairs, but I'm not having it anymore.
This is probably like the first time in 2 years where Shem's going to be angry. Do you know what I mean? Like I can never imagine Shem angry, but like now that you've spoken to Tom and Corey,
this man has tried to fight me at socials. He has squared. We did boxing social, and he went, "We'll fight." And I went, "All right, glove on each." And this is before I ever boxed or anything like that. I was like, "All right, glove on each." Sound. Kick the shit out of him.
Corey, you can't do that to me now, man. I was intoxicated. I was young. Things are different now.
I completely agree. I am so unfit. I have about 4 seconds of scrapping in me and I'm done. If you're not done after the first punch, that's it. It's me finished.
I'm going to move on to the real life action man, G.I. Joe, G.I. Greg down there. What are you doing these days?
Mr. Sarmulus.
I'm moving to the Isle of Wight.
Nice.
I'm getting placed there for the police.
Inbreds.
Yeah, I live inbred.
Robocop. You're going to police?
Yeah. My training starts on April 12th.
Mate,
9 weeks of training, and then I'm off to the Isle of Wight.
If you want to arrest me to make it look good in your references there, just do it.
Yeah. When they do the background check, do not put any of these boys as friends or close acquaintances.
I'm not putting Brighton Uni on there because like they can dig into too much.
Yeah, definitely don't want that.
They're going to check your Instagram. You're going to see that you're friends with me, and that is it. Your placement is ruined.
I just give them my Instagram and stuff, and they message me. They're like, "Yeah, I think it's a better idea if you make your Instagram private." I was like, "All right, fair enough."
What, they actually said that?
Yeah, full on. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mate, if they go back too far,
and like the day after we all went to Eastbourne, I had to go to the police and go do a like a drug test and like a fingerprint test. Somehow came out all right.
How? You spent the weekend with me. Nobody was safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that position again, Greg, where you're blaming people for that sort of stuff.
Right. Come on, let's not get into that now.
And this is at the I go to the boys and I see you regularly, but Wayne, what are we up to? I know we had work the other week and missed one of the sessions, but what are you up to these days?
Well, what you guys don't know, that I'm a mental health support worker. So I work with people who've got like severe schizophrenia and help them out with like their day-to-day lives and hopefully build up their confidence and set goals so they can live out in the public with everyone else and stuff. So that's what I do in my job, and that's what I'm going to continue doing until I get bored or something like that and try to do something that more.
Mate, that's quality. That's big. Yeah,
big respect for that.
Yeah,
Thursday night clap.
We've all been there.
That was a Wednesday night for you, Corey.
Yeah.
Mondays, Fridays, all Saturdays.
JP, what are you up to these days?
Well, initially I tried to make it in the world of journalism, specifically sports journalism, because I just like giving my opinion on sport and whatever. But that didn't kind of work out with COVID. So what I do now is I work for a science company, creating multimedia content and written content for them for training purposes.
Mate, that's decent. So I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Shem having a disco down there.
Tim's got the strobe lights on. I have no idea what's going on.
JP, that's quality, mate. And I know I read one of your bits you did last year during the finals that you put on your Facebook and stuff. So I know you got some definite talent there. And how's being the Burnley Ultra fan over there keeping you?
Claret seems to be my colour at the moment. It seems to be the only thing I've got at my girlfriend's house at the moment. But
I still can't believe that you have a beard like that and have a girlfriend. Oh, it's beyond me. She's been locked in the cupboard for 3 months. There's no way she's seen that.
Listen, let's on your hairline, mate. Come on.
Corey, what about you? Other than just being a modern day Del Boy Trotter.
He's the real life Richard from In Between Us.
Yeah, Richard.
Oh, that's 10, 5, 5, 10, 10.
I work for a company. We sell holiday packages to people wanting to work abroad, basically legends.
Lucky man.
And on the side, I have started buying and selling some fashion items, trainers, clothing, promoting people's art and stuff like that. I'm hoping to make something of that. And also, someone I know has just bought a cocktail bar and events. He's basically got like an outdoor venue, and he's run a festival there itself. And obviously, I spoke to you before about the festival I wanted to throw. So hopefully, going to start running my own events through him soon. Means I don't have to pay event costs and stuff like that. And so yeah, he's a really famous DJ as well. Not really famous, sorry, but he's a.
Oh, hang on, let me just catch that drop there.
Yeah, no, I can't drop any names because it's still a secret. No one knows about the venue yet. But yeah,
it wasn't a venue; it's a famous DJ.
You need a barman.
No, he's got ties. Yeah. He's got ties to Defected Records and stuff like that. So
if there's a hole in the roof, Shem can come fix it.
On the roof, mate.
So can I, mate. Used to be a roofer. Used to be a roofer. Loads of birds.
I'm mixologist as well.
I'll do a bit of everything. I taught Shem everything he knows with mixology. Well, for the first little bit, and then he went and actually worked somewhere like proper. But
serious question, Corey. How many bucket hats do you see when you reel in the boys in your clubs? You got boys, you want a fish bowl?
There's a few. Right, lads, bucket hat, see? Yeah, I've got a couple of those. Want to come in?
For a mental night?
Where are you from? Portsmouth? I've got 3 cousins down there. Do you want to come in? Cousins everywhere, mate.
Yeah. No, boys, hell of a night. So catching up with you guys. Like I said before we recorded, I haven't seen some of you in 5 years now. So still very sort of close and grown up, other than Wayne, who hasn't grown at all.
Why? Yeah. Hey guys, I got called a girl today. I'm just saying, I got called a girl today.
Again, yeah, same.
Auntie Wayne, innit? It's Auntie Wayne.
Well, he broadcast and told everyone I was 5'5", mate.
But
and then the post, he even tagged and went, "Will we find out if Corey's 5'5" or not?" I'm not 5'5".
How? If I said Corey's 5'5" or 5'10", what are you believing?
I'm 5'5".
5'4.5".
Relax. Right now, serious question.
5'8".
That wasn't even one of the options, so you can relax. Right?
That is what you are.
I'm 5'10". I'm 5'11".
Corey, me and you are the same height, and I'm
What do
taller
you
than you.
mean?
Wow.
Me and you are
What?
the same height, and I'm taller than you, and I'm
Anyway,
5'7".
Wait,
Whoever
have
saw
you
me
ever-
with Hester,
Wait,
whoever
have you
saw
ever
me with
been on a
Hester,
roller coaster? Other than the teacups, have you been on a roller coaster?
Corey's not allowed, actually. Corey's not allowed.
Go on, call me fat. Go on.
We don't need to.
Mug. Right, hold on.
What are you getting at?
No, I'm finding a picture of me standing next to Wayne and how much I baby him. Little bitch.
Guys, when you guys don't know, I was sitting down.
I like to get at people at the end of the session we did on Wednesday. I called you all guys ballers other than Millsy. I know he's just gone actually, but you know, heard me get him. And then I had to get someone, so the height joke there with Wayne. But as I said earlier on in the show, there is going to definitely be a race because I remember beating Wayne in a race. Corey reckons he'll beat JP, so we'll have to get a race going somewhere. And Shem, I saw you post that video of Rocky and Apollo Creed. That's what it's going to be down in Eastbourne. It's going to be us four running across.
I love that.
We won't make it too long.
End of the pier and back.
Yeah, mate, that's a long run.
I don't think I'll make it.
End of the pier and back, not just end of the pier.
I might not make it into the end of the pier.
Wowza.
That's a long way. But yeah, boys, it's a hell of a sort of night catching up, chatting basketball, uni with you guys. When lockdown's lifted, we'd probably come see you guys and meet up in Eastbourne and have a proper sort of catch up, and won't be on video that time.
Big bash.
See, I'm tall.
Corey, if you zoom out, we can see that everyone else that you're stood on the step.
No, that's not true. I'm stood next to tall people and I'm not that short.
Now you can't trust the photos though, because like everyone looks 7 foot in camera photos.
First of all,
I'm at least 6'2" in camera pictures.
I'm not in that picture, and I'm the tallest in the booth.
Is that why your camera's looking up a bit, just to prove how tall you are?
Yes.
But yeah, all right, boys. I hope you have a good rest of the week and hope everything's going well. I will see you guys later. Drop us a message when you need anything. See you later, boys.
In a bit. See ya.
Cheers, lads.
See ya.
Peace.
Hello.